Welcome to Podcast Unlocked, episode 381, the BAM episode. I'm in the host seat. Joining me today is Stephen Rue.
Don't worry, Miranda will be back.
Miranda will be back. She had to take a break today. Brandon
This is going to be
Tyrell.
a beautiful train wreck. All right, let's do it.
And Mark Medina.
Why are you guys wearing the same shirt?
We planned it. We were like, we're going to be on Unlocked. We got to match. We got to look good.
That's not what
Then
happened.
why would you wear
exactly
green
what happened.
shirts?
Denim on top, denim on bottom.
Ryan is out at DICE, and for some reason they let me host. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, Apex Legends hit 25 million players. We're going to talk about that and all of the news on the show this week. Let's get right into it with Apex. We had some spicy takes on IGN. We had some spicy takes on Twitter. And now we're going to have spicy positivity right now because Apex Legends is awesome. Right, Steven?
I love it.
25 million players. 25
Steven's
million
bringing
players.
the energy.
2 million concurrents. 2 million concurrents that
That's
hit at one time.
crazy.
And if you guys have watched Shroud play, he is a freaking monster
Yeah.
at this game.
Yeah.
Are you playing Apex, Brandon?
I am. So I actually went. I went to the sort of with you and you.
Steven.
Yes.
Steven.
Boom.
That wasn't there.
I wasn't there. That was CJ.
It all blends together, man.
We were at Anthem.
We were
With
at Anthem
a
together.
Canadian.
We were
You
at
went
Anthem.
with a
I
Canadian.
went with CJ. Yes, the other Canadian. Yeah, shit.
I love it.
It was good. It was good at the preview event. I really enjoyed what I played. Got back to IGN, got looped in with other work, and actually just played it again for the first time this weekend.
Yeah.
Man, that game is good. That game is so good. I'm really, really enjoying it. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't play Battle Royale games. Like, it's got this weird sort of Blackout kind of meets Overwatch-esque vibe to it. And even if, like me, Blackout Battle Royale games are kind of intimidating just because I don't have the time to learn the weapons or the maps or sort of any of that kind of stuff, this is easy to jump into, and I don't feel like a total piece of garbage when I lose and like drag my team down.
Yeah.
So it's nice. And I won a round. I won my third game ever. Another
Oh,
first spot.
nice.
Here.
Nice, dude. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's crazy to me is just like the phenomenon. I just opened up my Twitch right now. 522 viewers.
Wow.
For Apex. Second place is Fortnite at 106. And
Wow.
that's well over a week after the games come out.
Oh,
And so
it's 522,000. I was like, wow, that's really
You said
low.
522.
You said 522.
only
And I was like,
522 people are watching. It really dropped off
that is
overnight.
that is decidedly worse than yesterday.
And it's one of those things where everybody, when the game first came out, it's like, look, it's stomping on all the other battle royales, and I was like, okay, well, every battle royale that comes out is #1 on Twitch for at least its first few days. Happened with Blackout, happened with Radical Heights.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Well,
But
it's
a
'cause
week over a week later, it's still going this strong, and like every day, Vince is like, "Hey guys, we just hit this milestone. We just did this. We just broke this record."
Yeah.
A game it seems like it's here to stay.
Looking into the future, we got a battle pass on the way. They're going to be doing a Valentine's Day event. Steven, how are you liking Apex Legends?
How are you liking Apex?
game.
I stay up till 3 a.m. every night playing with Sean Finnegan and James Duggan, and it is obviously terrible for my health, but I can't get enough of it. I like Mark said, I think it's here to stay. I saw a stat earlier. Fortnite had 100 million players total, but it took them, I think, 2 months to hit 25 million, and Apex hit that in a week, which is insane.
Here's the thing about that game. It takes all of the Battle Royale things that you would expect, the diving in, the weapon gearing up systems, and it elevates them all. It makes them all better. It's like a refining of the genre and almost perfection, I would say. Like it's absolutely excellent in my opinion.
And I love that it is not an early access game because I'm so used to like games coming out in early access. Like this is an alpha, this is going to be buggy, and it does feel buggy and it feels janky. And I feel like that takes away from the gameplay experience. This is AAA, super polished, and I think as we see more battle royales come out, they're going to take from each other.
Yeah.
And the next battle royale could be even bigger.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about it. We like we said, we knew about it a few days before it was announced, and everybody kept calling it early access. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, on Monday, Apex releases in early access," and we kept having to correct everybody.
No,
I was like,
it's
"No,
just
this is
out."
this is final release." And I thought this is either going to go super well or it's going to be a train wreck, because if a beta, like when Red Dead Online's beta came out and it's like it wasn't good, or even like Radical Heights was early access, it's kind of like, yeah, but it's all forgivable because it's just a beta. You know, Anthem's load screens don't work, but it's fine. It's just a beta. So I'm like, it's going to be really worrisome if something happens. And it's like, I'm so glad that didn't happen. I'm so glad that it came out and it just worked.
I know betas and alphas are designed to find these bugs, and you're going to have to deal with these bugs for consumers. But do you think that is actually hurting the game overall?
What?
Betas like being super janky and there's a lot of problems with them.
I will say that the early release for Anthem, the demo, the actually VIP demo, that was definitely negative overall.
Yeah,
I think once people got in and got to experience that game, it was good. But they additionally have this weird staggered release coming up where early access is going to be available to PC only and then 10 hours on Xbox. And sorry, PlayStation fans.
But it's fine. They got this beautiful chart telling you.
They have the chart thing. It's ridiculous. And hopefully they don't do that. I love that Apex Legends just dropped. And it's sort of weird bringing up Anthem for a second to see that a few weeks back, everyone's like, Anthem's going to have microtransactions. Oh, my God. EA is going to ruin BioWare. And that's like what the whole internet's saying. And then this week, Apex Legends comes out. It has microtransaction and nobody cares.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a difference, right? Because Apex Legends is free to play, A, and B. When we were speaking with Respawn and specifically Drew McCoy, who's designer on that game, their whole mantra was transparency. It was, yes, we are going to have microtransactions. This is a free game. If we want to make money on it, which you make something, you deserve to make money on it. They need to have some sort of monetization plan in place, and they do. It's microtransactions. You can buy things piecemeal. You can buy things in packs. You can buy gun
skins, not guns.
But you can also buy heroes.
You can buy heroes as well, and that's sort of like the approach they're going to take is very League of Legends style or Dota style, where every season they'll have rotating heroes coming in that you can purchase or that'll be free to play.
You can earn them for free.
But like, say you just don't ever unlock a hero and you never buy a hero. Next season, maybe Mirage comes in, right? As a playable hero, and then they pull out another one like Lifeline or something.
And the heroes are so balanced. The heroes are so balanced. I didn't feel like I was at a disadvantage not unlocking them straightforward.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
We mentioned in our review, the reviewer said, like,
which is live right now. You should go check it out.
You can grind or pay money for the new heroes, but just so you know, these heroes are no more powerful than the 6 that are available to you right now.
And that's one of the other things they said was like, it is a different way to play. It's not a better way to play.
Exactly.
And I think their transparency,
the balance is phenomenal.
Where when you go to the Apex Pack screen, it tells you, look, you have redundancy protection. You are guaranteed a legendary every 30 packs or something like that. There are all these steps they took. I'm assuming as lessons learned from like Battlefront and other games that had sort of loot packs in them. And they have all of these different ways to explain that, like, look, this is not a cash grab. You will get new stuff. This is just one alternative to purchase, right? Like if you want a lot of different things, buy a pack. If you want something bespoke, buy that.
Very, very true.
It's literally how they're keeping the game alive.
Yeah. And, look, if you make something, you deserve to make money on it. Like that is what I think. And this is one of probably the best examples in recent memory of a game that doesn't force you to buy anything. It's not predatory. It is just there.
Do you guys think that they're going to be able to maintain this level of hype, we'll call it, going forward?
Yeah, so I think Battle Royale games in general are driven by the streaming community largely. And
all the big streamers are playing Apex Legends.
Right.
And that's why it's #1 in the directory.
So you remember when PUBG was out, everyone played PUBG. When Fortnite came out, there was a little slower adoption, I think, but like then everyone figured out like what Fortnite was, and it was the game. Radical Heights came out, and just the sort of new novelty of each of these Battle Royale games makes it sort of the flavor of the week, and then you kind of see how the long tail plays out. So
The Calling came out. No, that one's not a good example.
I think glossing over that one. I think that this game is fun enough, and this game is sort of varied enough. There's enough different layers of detail and difficulty to it that I think this one is probably here to stay. We'll see what happens when Battlefield comes out. I think that'll be played for probably a week or so, and then that'll be the real tell of, do people go back to Fortnite? Do people go back to PUBG?
Battlefield's going to be a weird one, I think, because it's a known quantity. I think people kind of know what to expect from a Battlefield game, and it's not going to be interesting enough to hold everybody's interest. Hi, one-shot camera that I'm randomly on by myself.
Look at those
How's
baby.
it going?
Look at those
Good to
baby.
see you, everybody.
Look at those
Good
baby
to see you.
blues. Your
But yeah.
shirt really brings out your eyes.
But
Also, Steven's shirt really brings out your eyes.
But yeah, I don't think Battlefield, because it's not a new product, is going to necessarily take away from that. It might temporarily, but I think people will go back to Apex for a long time. Speaking of Respawn, good news for Titanfall fans. A premium Titanfall experience is on the way later this year, apparently. Here's what it says, according to the Run of Show I didn't write. On Twitter, CEO Vince Zampella teased, there is more than just Apex Legends in Respawn's future, saying, we are also working on more Titanfall for later in the year. He continued by saying, we love being able to experiment in this crazy universe. On a call reporting Q3 financial results for EA, the company said its plans to introduce a premium Titanfall experience, which likely means a traditional, non-free-to-play game later this year, and that it will be a twist on the franchise, M. Night Shyamalan style. No additional details were revealed. So here's the question I'm supposed to ask according to the Run of Show. So not Titanfall 3, since they already said they weren't making that, but something else?
Yeah.
Hopefully a single-player experience thing, since Apex is their big multiplayer game right now.
Does it say
Yeah,
single player?
we talked about this last week, and it's I was very. It was like kind of weird because everyone's like, "Oh, see, so Titanfall 3 is still coming out," and that was like literally hours after they had said we have not even begun production on Titanfall 3.
Yeah,
and so everyone's like, "Oh, wait, it is coming out this year." And I'm like, it takes longer than like 7 months to make a game, guys. But okay, we kind of theorized on what it could be. And we came up with, we have no idea. Like, we don't know if it's going to be like an RTS. It's obviously not going to be, Titanfall 3.
I swear I was.
RTS, that would be interesting.
We have B-roll on the video version right now. I was watching and I was like, oh man, this looks like an early version of Apex Legends. Then I realized, wait, this is Titanfall 2.
And boy, do I miss this map. Oh,
Yeah.
it was so fun.
That's a real good game, everybody.
Titanfall 2 is, and
Titanfall 2.
actually, somebody brought up, I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was, but somebody brought up in one of our stand-up meetings that people have seen an uptick in Titanfall 2 multiplayer.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Brian
on sale.
Alfano.
On sale
Yeah.
for $6.
Like all of a
right
sudden,
now.
Which
everybody's
is
like,
insane.
everybody's playing Apex, and they're like, wait, who made this game? Okay, I'm gonna go back and try.
Yeah.
Titanfall.
So I reviewed Titanfall 2, and I can say if you like playing Apex Legends and you like sort of the feel and the movement of it, just pick up Titanfall 2 for $6. It is such a good game. The single player was one of my favorite parts of it, and the multiplayer is fantastic. Like, there's no part of this game that isn't really good. I think I gave it like a 9 or something around there. But check out the review if you like it. I strongly urge people to pick it up. Like, Respawn just knows what they're doing in the shooter space.
Well, I think that's why people are very excited about Apex. It's like a lot of people just are happy to see Respawn like get a win. Because, Titanfall 2 commercially just got sandwiched in between Battlefield 1 and Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
And it just like,
it
kind of just passed you by. And it's like, no, it's like, it's this really, really good game. And nobody played it seems. And so it's like, now it's like, it's really cool to see them like get the like just service that they deserve.
Yeah.
for sure.
Steven, did you play much TF2?
I did not play a lot of TF2.
Team Fortress 2?
Because, like you
Because
guys
you
said,
were,
it did get cannibalized in between those two releases. And it's weird because it feels like they're doing that again with Firestorm, the Battlefield's Battle Royale, and Anthem. Like, a lot of people have been saying this unexpected launch of Apex Legends is just going to kill Anthem and Firestorm. So
Everyone's been saying Anthem's going to die repeatedly on all the internets.
Yeah.
That's all I keep saying. I'm
that's
like,
very
let
premature.
it come
I
out
feel like,
first.
I feel like they serve such. We talked about that last week too, and it's like I feel like they serve such different audiences because Anthem doesn't have PvP.
Nope.
Exactly.
And so it's kind of like I don't really understand where a battle royale cannibalizes not a single player game, but a shared world shooter that isn't competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't really see how they exist now. Firestorm.
Firestorm, yes.
With Firestorm, it's not looking great.
Yeah, I really thought. Look, I don't pretend to know what happens behind the scenes or anything. There are much smarter people than me making these decisions. But last go round, we saw Titanfall 2 get sort of eclipsed by the two biggest shooters on 1 week of either side of it. Now we're seeing EA release, or I guess Respawn has released Apex Legends, a week or two before Anthem, right before Firestorm. So I don't really know what the game plan is there. I think you're right. I think that when Anthem comes out, people are going to obsessively play it because that game feels really good to play.
I'm gonna obsessively play it.
Yep.
I think it's actually perfect. The situation is perfect for a guy like Destin, who plays Destiny almost fanatically because he loves both the PvE and the PvP. In Anthem, you're going to get that PvE where you get to do your Diablo style loot grind at
And
the end.
it's like space sort of feel for sure.
Space.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew that.
Definitely. Mass Effect.
Dead Space.
Anthem's going to be great. Dead Space is great.
There's
Destiny.
a picture of you floating around in a Dead Space costume.
That's
there,
right.
right?
There is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Remember it? From like years ago. It's you
I thought you meant somebody photoshopped me
no,
floating in space.
No,
in
no.
my
This
crappy-
is something you handcrafted and put on by yourself.
I sure did.
Yep. Anyway, I think that with Anthem, you're going to get that Diablo style endgame loot grind that you kind of like obsessively love to do, and get sort of the best build possible, and then get the best build on the next.
But I also love Battle Royales, Brandon. Where am I going to get that?
If you love Battle Royales, then when you've already finished all your strongholds and such for the week, jump into Apex Legends.
Oh my goodness.
Another fine Electronic Arts property.
He's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
I
exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think streamers are really going to jump into Anthem. It'll be the hot thing for a week or two, and then people are going to go back to Apex Legends. But Anthem's also got post-launch content coming out, which actually looks fairly meaty. So
Yeah.
I think you're going to see people continuously go back to Anthem, sort of the same way they go back to Destiny, which is every couple weeks, every couple months, you jump back in, you check out the new content, you check out what they've changed on the servers because they can control everything by flipping levers and pushing buttons.
That's how they do it. They have this big board with a bunch of levers and
It's like kind of
buttons on it.
steampunk. There's like Tesla coils.
They didn't need to set it up that way. They could have just, typed stuff into a computer, but they said, no, we want
cooler.
levers and buttons.
Cooler to
This
do
will
it
look
this way.
much cooler.
Also, to be clear, we don't know actually anything about Firestorm, right? Like we keep talking about it
Nope.
so much. We have no idea when that's actually coming out.
Yeah.
I think
or if it's even coming.
they've shown like a really short trailer of it, right?
Has it ever been playable in any capacity?
No, but they've shown a trailer where it's like there's literally like a fire circle.
Yeah, and that's it. Then the fire circle's probably pushing
Yeah.
everybody towards the center.
yeah.
Hence Firestorm.
Yeah, I get it.
Got it. War's hell. Yeah.
It sure is.
I think we should probably stop talking about Firestorm, considering we have zero idea of how that game plays. If it comes out and it plays incredibly well, that's the great thing about this Battle Royale space right now, is that there is, if you come and you bring the goods, people will play your game.
Yeah, for sure. We got 2 more EA stories. One that I just brought up on my phone. Speaking of Anthem, BioWare has partnered with Neil Blomkamp to develop a cool little live action short for the Anthem thing. Here's the press release from this morning. Today, EA and Neil Blomkamp, the Academy Award-winning director of District 9, Elysium, and Chappie, have announced they have collaborated on Conviction, an original live-action short film based on BioWare's Anthem. In Conviction, Blomkamp brings the vast world of Anthem to life with his own story set decades before the beginning of the game. He has a bunch of quotes and such, but he's really excited to work in the world of Anthem. And Neil Blomkamp, if you don't know, he did the Halo shorts back in the day.
Yep.
And they are phenomenal. I love what he does with like CGI basically integrated into real world settings. He's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, he was on deck to direct the Halo movie before that all fell apart.
I still want that to happen, man.
I know.
Yeah, it would have been awesome.
Neil, Peter Jackson, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has proven that he really knows his sci-fi space. And like District 9 came out of, I think if you watch District 9 again, correct me if I'm wrong, but like at one point, some of the props from what would have been the Halo movie were used in District 9. I think you see a Jeep that's basically a Warthog.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I think you see ARs too that have like
a couple of
repurposed.
assault rifles that were repainted. Yeah. So he definitely knows what he's doing. And like, man, those Halo shorts were so good.
Yeah, they were absolutely excellent. So look forward to that soon. The next actual story that was on the Run of Show, well, while we're on EA still, they've announced plans to deliver new entries in both the Need for Speed and Plants vs. Zombies franchises. Plants vs. Zombies fans, I hope that gets you excited because none of us know anything about Plants vs.
I thought
Zombies.
we agreed to toss to Steven.
So we're
going to
toss to Steven, who's
Plants
who
vs.
knows
Zombies
the
expert.
least Steven. what do you think of anthropomorphic plants versus zombies that eat brains?
Told him before the show not to do this, so I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Plant zombies, awesome. Let's do it.
Plants versus Zombies,
it.
IGN.com.
Awesome.
9 out of 10.
What more could you want?
Yeah, I am a big Need for Speed fan, though. So here's what we have from the press release. In a recent press release, EA COO and CFO Blake Jorgensen said the publisher will deliver new Plants vs. Zombies and Need for Speed titles, although details on upcoming entries have not been revealed yet. Jorgensen also said EA will grow Apex Legends and related Titanfall experience and add Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order to our sports titles in the fall. Nice. Plants vs. Zombies is a huge franchise for them. Mark, you know Call of Duty.
Yep.
Do you remember when they did Garden Warfare?
I do.
Yeah.
I like those games.
I actually do.
Yeah, they're good.
I actually do remember that.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Are we gonna get a battle royale?
I hope we get
Plants?
I want a battle royale Need for Speed.
How would that even work?
Cars
Need
smashing
for
each
Speed
other.
is an interesting one because like that franchise kind of is.
I don't
like-
actually want
it.
that.
Kind of is like in a weird space right now because like the last game that came out did not review well, and it's kind of like we have this like Forza and what's the PlayStation one? I forget. No PlayStation.
Gran
canceled.
Turismo?
Gran Turismo. There it is. I don't play racing games, and it's kind of like where does Need for Speed kind of fit in there, and so I'm interested to see what they change with that franchise because the last one did not do so well.
Yeah, I mean, NFS has always been like the arcadey
Crash mode.
flavor. Yeah, it was sort of somewhere between like a Forza and a Burnout. Kind of.
Well, no, it was always so big on like you could play as the cops and
Yeah,
It was really
so
fun.
Most Wanted, you could like do cops versus not cops.
yeah.
What was the
What-
mode?
There's only two kinds of people in this world:
Cops versus
cops
civilians.
and non-cops. But it's like the last one looked like the opening scene of like the fourth Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah.
Like it looked kind of heisty, and then it came out and
It was not.
it was not good.
I've never watched the Fast and Furious movie before.
What's
You've
funny-
never seen any of the Fast and the Furious movies?
I've actually only ever seen Tokyo Drift.
You need to watch Fast
All right,
5.
so the movie
You need
starts.
to watch Fast 5.
The movie starts.
All right, you know what?
They're in
Screw
a
this.
semi.
I'm
They're
just gonna
driving-
say the rest of Unlocked is a recap of the Fast and the Furious.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
go.
All right. Go,
He
Mark.
drives under the semi for at least a quarter of a mile. Quarter of a mile, something you're going to hear a lot in this film. in
That's
these
what you live your
films.
life by. Quarter mile at a time, right?
100%.
Exactly.
Got it.
Definitely.
I can't believe you haven't seen Tokyo Drift. That's like,
No, I have.
Oh, you have?
I think I saw the first one like 10 years ago, but the only one I remember is Tokyo Drift.
interesting.
I love how they managed to
Tokyo
bring
Drift
that
is
franchise back from the brink.
Yeah.
They did
Yeah,
one.
thanks to
it
The
was,
Rock.
So
Yeah.
what's the draw? Is it like good storytelling?
No!
Are you
Action?
serious?
It's an action movie.
I've
now.
always just thought they were super cheesy and cringy, so I never watched them.
That's
It's a
the
popcorn
point.
flick. Go see
that
Fast
is-
5, Steven. That's the only one you need to watch. And if you're not in after that, you're dead to me.
They kind of
Wow.
they kind of started as like a I don't know, like cops crime
It
drama.
was an excuse to race cars in a movie
yeah,
setting.
yeah. And then they just leaned hard into action. Like once The Rock came on, they just became like big budget action.
I
films.
saw a picture the other day, and it was like the 10-year challenge or whatever, and it was a door with a bunch of like speakers, and they're all colorful and stuff. And then it's like Fast and Furious 10 years ago, and then Fast and Furious now, and it's just a door with a ton of guns.
Basically.
It used to be all like flashy special effects, and now it's like they try to
Shooting
not
and
use
Yeah.
as many special effects, so it's like they're slower, but what you're seeing is actually like.
But they
real.
drive cars between skyscrapers. So like, you know, you can do that.
If I get a copy of Fast 5 and set it up in the demo room, will you guys watch Fast
Sure.
5
Yeah.
with me?
I
It
mean,
is my
sure.
favorite Fast and the
Fast
Furious
5's great.
movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do I need to see Fast 4 first?
No, you do not. I'll
I'll
fill you
catch
in.
you up,
Yeah.
man. Don't worry.
He was a cop. Now he's not. He freed Dom, and now they're all the gang's back.
Paul
together.
Walker, the last one Paul Walker was in was 4, correct?
No. Paul Walker was
7.
in 7.
Yeah.
There's
7 is the one where
Fast-
Wait, how
Oh,
many
there's-
are there total?
They're on
8
8.
is already out,
All right.
and Hobbs and Shaw is a spin-off, but it's the 9th film in the franchise.
When Hobbs and Shaw like got teased, everyone had such a strong reaction to it. And I was just like, who the heck are these people?
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't matter. That's the secret sauce, Steven.
One of them killed Han, and now he gets his own
Something
movie.
about a baby. Like he didn't kill a baby.
How are we not talking about the fact Idris Elba is
He's a
has
cyborg
superpowers?
now.
All right.
It happens.
When the metal door closes, he starts punching through it.
You'll understand after Fast 5.
Okay. I really doubt it, but okay.
Yeah. Anyway, just make Need for Speed like that, EA. Sorry for that tangent.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Why not just buy the Fast and Furious license and then slap that bad boy on there?
There you go.
Yeah.
Need for Speed, Fast and the Furious edition. They kind of partnered with
They
Forza.
did that with Forza. Yeah, they put a bunch of the fast cars in Forza.
Yeah, and you know what? I downloaded it, and I wanted to drive that Charger, and I did. It was great.
That's quite the story.
It's a great story.
No, wait.
I downloaded it because I wanted to drive the cars, and I did.
And the Supra, I think the Supra was in there.
We're only 25 minutes and 13 seconds in, and we've already had a Fast and the Furious tangent. So,
Well, get ready to have your mind blowing. Shaggy is not going to be in Mortal Kombat 11. Shaggy's out during NetherRealm's Combat Cast stream via my brain because I watched it, and Tyler Lansdowne, who said it. I don't know why this says another outlet.
Wait,
I watched it. Anyway, the company revealed that Cabal will be back on the roster. Cabal, a fan favorite, but also confirmed that we won't be seeing Shaggy on the list. Community manager Tyler Lansdowne shut down fan dreams, saying Shaggy will not be in the game ever. Sorry, dead meme. It was kind of this ongoing joke about Shaggy being in the
who's
game.
I mean, I
Shaggy,
from
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like
And
sugar.
he was in
Like
our
that
office.
Shaggy.
He was in our office like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, Matthew Lillard.
Well, Matthew Lillard was.
Yeah.
Shaggy is
Not a
Shaggy.
cartoon character.
Shaggy was in our
character
office.
in a
Yeah, there was some meme
fictional
about
universe.
him like becoming a god, and then it was like, oh my god, he only used half % of his power, or whatever.
Oh,
so then it's
okay.
like, oh, now he's going to be in Mortal Kombat, and they were like, no.
So
Who,
this
Shaggy?
So this
Yeah,
is
well, that was the whole thing. Was like everybody was like, oh, so he needs to be in Mortal Kombat because he's like this god, and he's gonna like rip people apart or whatever. And then they were like, no.
so this is an internet thing. Got it.
It's just
Say
an
no more.
internet thing.
Okay.
So let me
I
tell
also-
you guys, let's do this a little bit differently then. Who would you like to see as a guest character in Mortal Kombat that makes sense? I still want Spawn.
Yeah, I would go Spawn as well.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
playing Spawn in SoCal 2 was one of my favorite fighting game experiences.
Yeah.
I'll take Luke Hobbs from the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Heck yeah,
That
Mark.
dude's a beast.
Bringing it back.
He's a beast.
Oh my god,
That's The Rock, right?
I love you.
That's The Rock.
You know who would have some sick fatalities? Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Ganondorf.
All right, let's
Okay.
go with it.
Yeah.
What are his
Does he turn
fatalities?
into a dragon like
Sure.
Liu Kang?
I don't know. Ganondorf. That's my choice. I wasn't thinking of fatality.
When you first said that, I thought Gandalf from Lord of the Rings.
Ganondorf.
I was like,
No, you know who would have some sick fatalities? John Wick.
You know what?
oh,
It is coming to the Switch.
oh, John Wick.
Hey, we're on John Wick now.
No, sorry.
One of his fatalities is his dog dying, and then he just goes
That's his fatality. Is his dog died?
Oh no!
and then he just goes crazy.
Which one?
He
He's
just
lost
goes
like 3
freaking-
dogs.
If anybody friendships him, all his dogs come back to life.
Yeah.
Using the power of magic or whatever they
Sure.
use in Mortal
Oh,
Kombat.
man, that would be a good one.
Yeah, man, they should add John Wick to Mortal Kombat. He would play like I don't know the characters' names, but he would play like that bomb squad guy. What was his name?
I don't know.
Riker? Riot?
From what?
I don't know.
Yeah,
what
let's
is
get
happening?
that,
A
let's
Mortal
get that
Kombat
guy we
game.
can't remember.
Okay, he wore
Oh,
like a
Striker.
Thank you,
Oh,
Riker.
yeah.
Close. I mean, he was in the Next Generation, but whatever.
Yeah.
Star Trek, guys. You're probably all too young.
They also had a roster leak. I'm not going to ruin it for everybody,
Yeah,
but
don't.
a lot of the people that you expect are showing up with a few surprises. I also don't think it's the full roster. It seemed like there were like 5 that we don't know about
Ed
yet,
Boon was
but yeah.
pretty pissed about that on Twitter.
He was being jokey about it, but
Yeah, I'm sure he's annoyed.
There's
Yeah.
always a nugget of truth, though.
Mhm.
Speaking
Straight
of leaks, I was
I thought you were going to say something else.
speaking of
Speaking of nugs,
no.
like Brandon,
I don't know what you mean, Destin. Can you explain that to me?
we're in San Francisco.
What's a nug?
Speaking of leaks, I was super impressed with the fact that
I've ruined this show.
I was just get it all out.
Ryan McCaffrey is gonna come back.
And
he's gonna be like, "What have you guys done?"
I called it train wreck, man. All right, get the giggles out.
We're
Go
good.
ahead, boys.
I'm good.
We good?
Good.
Yeah.
It's every time I look at Steven, I look see every time I look at him, he freaking makes me laugh.
Okay. Back on topic.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're good.
I was super impressed that Apex Legends managed to keep that game under or Apex Legends Respawn managed to keep Apex Legends under wraps.
For the most part.
Yeah,
It did leak
Well,
like
until they had the event.
it did leak a
Preview
couple
event.
days before, but like, I mean, sorry, you couldn't see my hands.
For years. For years.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think the fact that it was leaked 2 days before release could be a record for like
Yeah.
the closest
But I mean, you invite a bunch of press, and then you invite a bunch of
influencers.
and I think EA calls them game changers.
EA has their own wing of people that they actually bring in specifically to work on EA titles. So those are EA game changers. Influencers are just regular YouTubers, not part of that
Just
program.
regular YouTubers.
Well, or just influencers, right? Not part of that program necessarily.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you invite a bunch of people in a room, like, let's roll on the dice, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm so glad that the game still did well, because I remember when the game got leaked and everyone was like, it's a Titanfall Battle Royale. It's not Titanfall 3. There's no Titans. Like this game's gonna suck. But
that was the narrative for a couple of
that was the narrative. Yeah.
I thought the exact same thing, and then I played one game,
Yes.
and I'm like, I get it. I'm in. I'm sold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think
Totally.
that's the reaction most people have.
Oh,
I remember seeing it over the weekend, and it was like, oh, there's like these rumors, and then somebody had said it was called Apex. It was like as the day went on, it was like you get more and more info. It's Respawn Battle Royale Titanfall universe, and then it was Apex, and I was like, oh no, and then finally it was just like 60 players, and I was like, oh, okay, the cat's out of the bag. Like, we're done. they got it.
I'm really glad they decided to call it Apex Legends as well, because it's a play on sort of the Titanfall universe. Like in Titanfall 2, the Apex Predators are like this collection of mercenaries that are basically hunting you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess story-wise, one of those guys, after the wars were over, decided people still love to watch fighting, you know? So I'm going to start this game show. And then I guess he went on to found it. So it's a cool little like universe tie-in.
I gotta watch all the BTS stuff that you guys did. Actually, I also have no idea how we got back on Apex Legends, but I'm gonna roll with it because I love that game.
How are we doing? We got plenty of time.
Yeah, we do have plenty of time.
Well, you are
to talk.
May
about,
I just say that you are knocking through our itinerary right now?
I'm a task manager.
Yeah,
Taskmaster.
you are just point by point.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
Thanks, Brandon.
You're welcome.
Moving on.
Hey,
Obsidian's The Outer Worlds will be a meaty RPG, but don't expect it to be Fallout New Vegas kind of big. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the press release says people think it's more of an open sandbox of a game, like, oh, they're going to be able to go anywhere on any of the planets. No, said Kane. People are speculating like hundreds of hours of gameplay. And no, when asked if players could beat the game in 15 to 40 hours, the developers said that would be a reasonable guess. Boyarsky compared it to the size of one of its most popular games, saying, it's probably roughly comparable to maybe like a KOTOR 2 size game, maybe a little bit smaller than that. They also emphasized that this game is being made as a highly replayable experience and that the time it takes players to finish the game will vary drastically depending on their play style. Okay, so we know that they made South Park Stick of Truth, which was 12 awesome hours according to the Runner Show. Nobody should freak out about this. KOTOR 2 sized is plenty with Tim Kaine on board, and it should hopefully be written really well. Brandon, do you know anything about this or about the writing style that we should expect?
Yeah, I went and did the pre-coverage of it. I want to say right before the Game Awards. I think that's when it was announced. Yeah, I think I said this much in my preview. It is not going to be like a super open world like big thing. It's going to be a sort of more focused experience. And depending on how you play it, things will. I mean, you can go sneaky archer. I mean, obviously it's in the future, but you know, like
Sneaky archer,
like your standard sort of sneaky character, or your guns a blazing guy, or your persuasion guy. And I think that's what Ryan was alluding to. I don't know. I didn't talk to him before he wrote that. The writing in this game is very good. It's
Cool.
It's funny, but it's like kind of dark funny. Whereas if you guys are a big nerd like me and play all the RPGs, you know there's usually like the heroic persuasion character or the dastardly persuasion character. The Outer Worlds has just like a dumb character persuasion mode where like you can just say the stupidest things to your friends, and then for the rest of the game they will never let you live it down. Or like you're talking to an NPC and he's like, I don't know, I think there are monsters in there, and you can be like, maybe they're friendly. And they're like, that's not a smart thing to say. So go ahead. Like, why don't you go ahead and walk in there and let me know what you think. So I'm excited for this game. It seemed kind of like a breath of fresh air. but that was many projects ago, so you should go check out the preview if you're curious about it.
I'm absolutely sleeping on this one. I saw their trailers. It looks like there's some different character styles that you can pick or maybe customize. But beyond that, it hasn't done a good job of selling me because I don't really know what kind of experience I'm getting into. And that's my only critique to it. Like, I think I just need to see a little bit more gameplay and to get like really invested. But it checks off all the marks for me.
Yeah, I think
good storytelling, takes place in space, customizable characters that
super big options. Yeah, I mean,
It's got space.
It's important.
it's fun because the setting is essentially what happens when the inevitable, like in our real world, happens, where corporations basically buy space travel and they go and make planet Starbucks. You know, so like you are basically going to this planet owned by a number of different corporations, and your entire identity is driven by who you work for and what you do for them.
Oh, wow.
And the better corporations have like the better standing, and like there's corporations that make everything but make it really crappy, and so like their gear always breaks. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of like cool design elements influenced by the narrative, which is something I always appreciate in games. Because you can tell me what's happening, but like unless you see it in the world, it's tough to really get behind that. And Outer Worlds, to me at least, it seemed like they were moving in a right direction with that.
Yeah, that's so unrealistic. IGN.com, biggest gaming website on the world. Anyway,
I
so
want to live on planet Starbucks.
yeah, it's really not that far fetched.
No, not at all. It does have like a Firefly kind of aspect to it. If you guys liked that show,
Yeah.
it's sort of like you're on the Outer Worlds, if you will.
I like these.
You're
fun,
on like the edge of space, and like there are no real rules except for the corporations and all that.
You can have a lot of fun with fun, believable fictions set far in the future about like Idiocracy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the negative outcome
And
of.
it kind of had a little bit of the Idiocracy vibe to it. Like this is the future, and like the predictable like lowest common denominator won out. You know?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Steven, do you know anything about this at all?
No, but I mean, I absolutely loved KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2.
Oh,
and
cool.
it's been a very long time since I played an RPG. I think KOTOR 2 might have been the last RPG I've ever played. But that, to this day, KOTOR 1 is my favorite game of all time.
Oh,
Of
wow.
And
all time.
the game with the longest title of all time, Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic 2: The Sith Lords.
Yeah. Oh my God. So if that game is anything like that, I would probably give it a chance. Like whenever I think about KOTOR and KOTOR 2, I think of how long I spent like trying to get all my team members and party members like aligned with my dark side, light side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. It's been a while since I played a game like that, and that actually sounds pretty exciting. Hearing Brandon talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, KOTOR 2, I believe, is now on backwards compatibility. Because
Nice.
This is an Xbox show,
Just
so we
make
should
it KOTOR
probably
3. Please make it KOTOR 3.
Yeah, I don't know. That's so muddy now. Like, I wonder how that would even come about, right? Because Obsidian made KOTOR, but now EA has the license with Star Wars,
Stealth
and now
launch it.
Disney and Lucas are involved. Or Lucas has always been
and
involved, but like now Disney's involved.
And now Obsidian, anything going forward after Outer Worlds would be first party to Xbox.
Well, maybe not first party, but definitely like published and gone through Microsoft as well. And I only say that because like Microsoft bought Minecraft, and Minecraft is still on everything. So
Right, but Minecraft existed on everything before
correct.
they bought them.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just thinking. It seems like Microsoft is opening up this idea where they're not just the Xbox, as far as their gaming division is concerned, they're not just the Xbox company anymore. They are Xbox and PC, which means, yes, you might have to buy everything through the Microsoft store, but it does seem like in the past they have thought about,
It's not just locked to one company.
yeah, it's not just locked to the Xbox. They've thought about in the past like more platforms, more revenue, so it seems like maybe they're thinking of a case-by-case basis. I don't know.
Quick poll of the panel. Who likes Halo? I do. Yeah.
Sorry,
Brandon, no, you're
Sorry,
out.
what? Halo. Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
it's
I
an
love
Xbox
Halo.
game. All right,
Everyone loves
Who
Halo.
likes Disneyland?
You are, oh man.
I do.
You are setting this thing up.
You guys?
People are going to.
Imagine if both of those things were married together to create an epic Halo experience.
Wait, the guys who make Fortnite?
No. not that epic. There's going to be a traveling Halo experience making its way around the U.S. this summer. Halo Outpost Discovery is headed to 5 major cities in the U.S. and will allow visitors to explore a Halo ring, get up close and personal with a real-life warthog, battle fellow recruits in an epic laser tag arena, experience thrilling in-universe encounters with the latest simulation and VR technologies, and much, much more. Anyway.
You know who you sound like right now?
Still going.
You sound like the movie announcer from South Park.
That's what I do.
Rob Schneider is.
I love the voice that they do. This is a real thing. They're gonna have Mark. We were watching the Xbox show,
and
I
you
was
were like, "What is it?" And I was like,
"Yeah."
Ow.
And then
you're
I'm
like, "There's roller coasters."
Wait, so Disney is doing this?
The Halo team's doing it.
It's just because it's like a theme park. It's like a moving. It's like a carnival.
The Disney thing.
Oh,
threw me
okay.
off.
It's the Disneyland, but Halo.
Gotcha.
But Halo,
Except
and no,
the
Disney's not involved in
It's
any way.
the county fair of Disneyland.
Yeah. It sounds more like a fair than like a theme park.
Well, these events will take place in an over 300,000 square foot area and will also allow visitors to play and compete in titles in the Halo franchise, attend panels, meet the creators and special guests, learn how the Halo universe is made, learn how to live stream and cosplay, participate in an escape room, and so much more.
I mean, so we're going to this, right? Like,
Yeah, I definitely.
That would be
I
pretty cool.
100% going.
so July 5th, it's in Orlando. July 19th, Philadelphia. August 2nd,
Anaheim.
Chicago. August 16th, Houston. And August 30th, Anaheim. I feel like Anaheim's the only one that we would.
I think the problem
Yeah.
is
I mean, Houston,
it's
Houston is during.
existed for so long by then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good
That
point.
You got to
That
go
is
to
a
the
good-
first one in
That is a
Florida.
good point.
Well,
Dude.
DeFreitas could go to the Florida one.
There you go.
You know, maybe.
What do you?
Hey,
I mean,
DeFreitas,
any-
take your vacation on July 5th to 7th.
Oh, yeah.
Also, can 3
Yeah.
of us come along?
Come do some work.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she'll love hearing that her personal vacation home is going to be consistent of going to the Halo County Fair.
What do you think the age demographic will be at this?
This is a great question because Halo
I'm
is
gonna
Halo's
be
now an
37,
older
so I'll be there.
Halo. That's an aside.
I mean, like I assume anyone under 23 like
Doesn't-
doesn't really have any Halo time.
I'd love
Like,
to
that's
learn how to.
23.
I'd love to learn how to better live stream and cosplay. I already got the cosplay Dead Space thing going for
Answer
me.
the question, Destin.
Destin, I would kill to see you in a Halo cosplay. Like,
Oh.
I want to see
That's
you.
easy though. There's so many outfits that you can just buy.
No, I want to see you make a Mjolnir Mark V armor out of cardboard and then spray paint it green. Holy crap! I never knew
Always
I needed
wanted
that
to be
in
an
my life.
ODST.
Yeah, you could be an ODST as well.
I'm sure there's templates online actually to do
Yeah,
that. I think
there
I could do
probably
it. Yeah,
Um,
and make it not
I
terrible.
think the idea is it's supposed to be like a for all ages because it's like cosplay to live streaming to VR fun to
I think
laser
it's-
tag.
Yeah.
I think it's 20 something, so late teens to early
It's
20s.
just like it's so interesting to me.
And then
like,
me.
To us, you hear Halo, that's like the holy grail, right? But then like you have
Yeah.
people in their late 30s, like who are dads or mothers who have families, like, all right, kids, we're gonna go to this Halo thing, and they have no idea what that is.
That's a really great point because Halo 5, you know, it was what it was. It was arguably the lowest point in the Halo series.
yeah.
So it's not a property that really resonates with people in the last 10 years. So if you have, I mean, when do you start remembering video games? Like 7, 8, sometime around there? So you're talking you have 18-year-olds now who they're, you know, kind of no gauge about how awesome Halo used to be.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure like what the demographic is.
And it's to the point where they know how awesome it used to be because like the combat and the PvP, but they don't know the story.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is a huge draw too because you don't really get that story in Halo 4 and 5. You had to play 1, 2,
It's a
3 and
different
reach.
story.
Yeah.
I actually really liked Halo 4's story. Mostly,
too.
Mostly because I don't know if you guys played Halo 3, obviously. Dumb question. Did you guys check out the terminals in Halo 3?
Yes.
Like you found them all?
Oh, yeah.
The story in those terminals is some of, I think, like the best world building that I've ever read. And 4 kind of directly plays off the conversations between the librarian and the didact in that. And then the conversation between Gravemind and I think it was Mendicant Bias. that's sort of where Halo 4 lives, and I loved that. And then Halo 5 decided they were going to take it in some sort of insane Gundam direction, and that's kind of where they lost.
Yeah, I hope Infinite really brings it back home to the rings, to the fights that you have on there with the Flood and taking them out.
Forerunners.
What if it's a game just set in the Halo universe throughout, like, all recorded history? You play in different parts.
It would be pretty easy to
would be
add a
like
time
infinite.
manipulation thing.
Yeah.
You know,
They've
So
said it.
it's not
They've
too
said it's a
crazy.
direct sequel to 5, right? Or
It is.
successor to
Yeah,
5.
so that's
it's like,
part of it.
It
he's
will
like
be
wearing
Halo
his
6.
old armor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I could see
I'm
how
confused.
story wise they get to that point though, right?
Yeah.
Where like, because at the end of 5, doesn't he take the gear off, or was that 4? No, that was 4.
I don't remember.
But like, it would be easy.
when
he
you
goes
see his
back.
face?
Oh,
they
you
put him
see
on
like his
trial.
eyes, right?
Yeah.
And they're all
Yeah,
gooey.
yeah.
They're all
But no, in 5 he's like gone rogue basically, and that's why the other fire team has
I mean,
to go track
gone
him down.
rogue, yeah.
Well, he's basically lost it. He's like obsessing over Cortana, trying to find her.
Well, he's trying to find her, yeah, but like it's one of those things where you're like the anti-hero almost, where it's like what you're doing is best for the universe,
Yeah.
but like the laws of man say that they got to rein you in, you know? And so it's really sort of like
So it becomes Mission Impossible.
yeah, it's the UNSC trying to like bring him into heel, and he's like, no,
it's like
but
Captain America.
it's basically Winter Soldier. Yeah. I'm almost positive, find out more about Halo Infinite at E3, and I cannot wait.
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, with this whole idea that they have like the stage to themselves.
Oh my
Of course they're gonna come out and like, show off the biggest game they got coming out.
Just I know like Microsoft and Sony are usually on different days or different times, but God, I would love like just a 2-hour conference from Microsoft, just being
Think
like,
it'll be playable at E3?
No. I actually have some sad news to talk about. This has not been confirmed yet. I was looking on my phone just a little bit ago. I apologize to my co-host for doing that, but I wanted to make sure nothing had developed. But Activision Blizzard is reportedly planning on a large number of layoffs that may have happened by the time that you hear this. No updates literally as we're recording, though. Job cuts that could number in the hundreds following slowing sales for the company responsible for such titles as Call of Duty and Overwatch. And we also know that Destiny separated from them earlier this year. As reported by Bloomberg, the announcement of these layoffs could arrive as early as Tuesday and are part of a restructuring aimed at centralizing functions and boosting profit. Kotaku's Jason Schreier has also reported that these layoffs are expected to be primarily in non-game development departments such as publishing, marketing, and sales. Schreier also commented that these layoffs may mostly occur within Blizzard, shifting some of those roles to Activision proper, further reducing Blizzard's autonomy. If this does happen, it seems like it might. Anybody who's affected by it, of course, our heart goes out to you, and yeah, we wish you the best. And if anybody's looking to hire anybody, just be on the lookout in the next few days because there's going to be some incredibly talented people on the market potentially.
Yeah, if you are a game developer and you listen to Unlocked, first of all, thank you. And if you're affected by this, check out Mitch Dyer, an old member of IGN who now wrote the Battlefront story. He has posted a really awesome list, super comprehensive of.
Yeah, it's like this working spreadsheet.
It's a living document
of like openings.
Of studios who are hiring. So please check that out.
Yeah. So where does this leave Activision? That's the question that's posed on the Run a Show. What are they investing in? What will make them money besides Call of Duty, if anything? And how much are they going to mess with Blizzard's culture? Because that's a little bit of a dangerous area. Like Blizzard invested hugely in Overwatch, and of course they have their World of Warcraft money, partnered for Call of Duty and Destiny to launch on their launcher. And what do you guys think they're doing here? I have no clue. This is really weird.
It's really hard to like speculate on like why a ton of people are about to lose their jobs if that's going to happen. You would assume it has something to do, especially since it's like marketing and stuff like that, that it's people that were put in place to work for Destiny. And now that Destiny is no longer a part of those companies, then it's kind of like, okay, well, if you can't find a job somewhere else, then but again, who knows?
Like I don't want to speak out of turn. I'm not sure what's happening. But the idea that, the number of jobs lost could be in the hundreds.
Yeah.
Says more to me that this isn't sort of a based on like one game. It's based on
Something's going on in Activision.
reducing overhead to compensate for a lack in revenue.
Yeah.
They also just had a change in like high levels at the company, and whenever that happens, you know, sometimes this reshuffling happens. But I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know really what's going on here. They ditched Destiny, huge investment there. They still have the Call of Duty franchise, and yeah, that makes money, but it doesn't make as much as like a World of Warcraft 2 would, or something like that. And if this is going to impact Blizzard, it's just a crappy story to report on.
Yeah.
It sucks whenever people are going to lose their jobs, especially in the hundreds.
Yeah, of course.
And you know, it's not fun at all. So
it's just so surprising to me because Blizzard has always been so. I mean, if I'm wrong, then please correct me. But my understanding of Blizzard as a company and a culture is they've always been sort of autonomous. They don't mind spending money in order to make a great game. You know,
They were like Overwatch League. Like, it's like, hey, we're gonna make a league for our game, and it's this like huge arena.
They've essentially created a sports league for a video game.
and housing, right, and training,
And
chefs and
production of it. They built an arena. It's crazy to me that a company that is totally fine taking 5, 6, 10 years to put out a game, the next game in a series, is sort of now worried about cutting costs, you know? So
dramatic shift.
I don't know how much of this is like Activision's influence or the umbrella company, Activision Blizzard, that owns both companies now.
Well, let's not also forget there's changes of management. Like Mike Morhaime is not like the head anymore.
He stepped down.
It's starting to make sense, like why all these shifts have been happening, why people have been, you know, finding other avenues of employment and such early on. And
I can't imagine how terrible it must feel, because these are like all rumors at this point still, and it's not confirmed. Like, I believe they're having their earnings call at 5 p.m. today.
Yeah.
So it's like you hear all these rumors and you have to wait until 5 p.m. to find out if you still have a job or not. Like, must be rough.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case.
So check out Mitch Dyer's thing. The silver lining is there are a lot of people looking for talented people, and if you've been working in Activision Blizzard, you have an excellent resume, and I wish you the best of luck in all the future. We're going to move on to the loot box. John from Des Moines, Iowa asks, what is /are some of your favorite video game scores and soundtracks? This is a really good one for you, Mark.
Yeah.
You were hyped about this last week. What is one of your favorite songs?
I was just hyped because Des Moines, Iowa. I used to live there.
Really?
Yeah, it's where I went to kindergarten there.
Kindergarten?
Yeah. My brother and my dad still live in Iowa.
Oh, I thought you were California born in. Always stayed.
I wasn't even born in California. I was born in Kansas.
You learn something new every day.
It's a weird day. Yeah, so I was thinking about it last week, and man, video game music is so good. I'd rather just say like certain soundtracks. So like I've never played, this is really funny to say on an Xbox podcast, I've never played Ori and the Blind Forest. I've also never played Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh.
I cannot stop listening to either of their soundtracks. They are so good. And I've never even played the games. But then it's like games like that aren't as good as you know, the games that aren't as good as their music is something like Beyond Two Souls, which is not that great of a game, but has really good music. Video game music's great.
It's super great.
Here's my pick really quick. If you have not listened to Donkey Kong Country 2 Sticker Brush Symphony, Google that right now. Go listen to it. It's a phenomenal track. That is just one of many pieces of music that I like in video game, but that is the one that comes to my mind when you
Donkey
talk about
Kong Country 2's music is like some of the best music on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's crazy how good the soundtrack for that game is.
Excellent.
Okay, I'll go check it out.
It's
I
so
never,
good.
without your guys' recommendation, I would have never listened to it. But
What's some of your favorites?
I like a lot of surprise. I like a lot of RPG music. I like to listen to it when I write. It's mostly instrumental and vocals, without lyrics. The Witcher 3 is one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in my entire life. I also, are you doing this right now?
He's gonna play it.
Are you blowing up?
I
my
have
spot?
to listen to it now.
Jesus,
It's so loud.
that was louder than your bam.
Sorry. This sounds terrible. I highly recommend listening to it not this way.
Can we just pretend we're doing this and the producer can put it in post?
Yeah, there we go.
Let's get to the good part.
What is
No,
happening?
it's just happening.
I can't turn it off now. Anyway,
Ryan
it's
is
a
gonna
great
be
song.
so pissed.
It's much better than what I just ruined.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, no, it's I don't remember.
You know
the
when you get a
words.
song stuck
You're
in your
talking
head
about
and
The
you're
Witcher.
like, I have to listen to this, and then I ruined your moment?
I was talking about The Witcher.
Sorry.
Witcher's real good.
Anyway, yeah, The Witcher 3, one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. If you like sort of RPG instrumental stuff like that, also check out Wrath of the Lich King by World of Warcraft. It's got one of the best soundtracks I've also ever heard. Particularly, there's a track on there called Dalaran, something that's amazing. Hellblade's got a great soundtrack. It's actually Assassin's Creed Odyssey has an amazing soundtrack I've been listening to lately.
Yeah.
It's sort of a little more upbeat and tempo-wise.
All the Assassin's Creed games are pretty known for their music.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Hellblade has a crazy, like if you like bands like The Knife or like if you watch Vikings, the theme song to that is very reminiscent of Hellblade. Yeah, just like a Darkest Dungeon. Like there's a bunch of great games out there that I listen to just on YouTube as I write and just queue up the playlist.
The 360 version of Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay, like the remake of it, had this really awesome metal song in it, actually. Like it was just a track like from, I think it was developed specifically for the game. Don't quote me on that, though. Steven, do you have any?
Steven only listens to Apex Legends jump music
Yeah.
now. That's all he listens to.
Easy.
You're really good at games, but do you also appreciate the subtlety of music? Do you have any favorites from that time?
It's easily Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, like, you just open the game and you hear that chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, and then
iconic
there's stuff like
The Halo 2 guitar riff on it. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, and then there was just like songs that like they like live past the game. Is like Remember from Halo 2 and Believe from Halo 3.
Yes.
And then something really, really good is just the menu music from Halo 5.
I remember when
because
I was younger.
It's like the Gregorian chant, but then it goes on and like piano comes out of nowhere. It's so good.
I remember when I was younger, I would turn on my Xbox and just leave it on the menu title and just play it through the TV, because back then we didn't have like Spotify or iTunes or whatever. But God, those are good memories.
That reminds me. Did you
Really
all
sad
have
music.
Do you all have an original Xbox?
Yes.
Yeah. I still have mine.
So do I.
Yeah.
If you leave it on and it's on that screen, that green screen, it has
You can
this
play music.
has this kind of menu music behind
yeah.
it. But no, there's this sound effect that comes in, and it sounds like a guy talking over a radio, but it's like
Really?
Yeah, it's really weird. And like I would do the same thing. Like when I was cleaning my room or doing homework, I would just leave the Xbox on, and then this guy would come on, and it sounded like someone talking on a ham radio from like 300 yards away. And it would always scare the crap out of me. Like I thought there was a cop outside the window or something with a radio on.
I also want to give a quick shout out to Command and Conquer. Man, the old games, Red Alert 2, Hell March, those songs. It just like didn't fit the theme. It's like war and stuff, but it's like like it made Command and Conquer. It's like it made like you know, you're just like waiting for your refinery to build, but at the same time you're just like rocking out. It's so good.
One of my favorite things is when they take old soundtracks or original soundtracks and they kind of, not a remix, but they kind of put a different twist to it.
Bionic Commando did that perfectly.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite remakes.
Weirdest example, but the Aladdin trailer just came out.
Yeah.
Oh,
They had the Aladdin soundtrack, but it's different.
Yeah.
And
Prince Ali song.
I
Yeah.
was listening to it, I was like, man, this sounds awesome.
Yeah.
everything about that trailer was great, and there's nothing wrong with anything in it.
That's the great thing about like Star Wars trailers when they come out. Is
Says the
every
guys
time-
wearing the blue shirts today.
Every time a Star Wars trailer comes out, you're hearing like this
Iconic music.
this iconic music get put in this like different tone.
Yeah.
Reimagined for a new time.
It's great.
Have you ever played
all the Mega Man songs, like from the old game?
Have you ever played a game like a single player game, even a multiplayer game, with the audio off?
Oh,
the
I have
music
to
off?
sometimes.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, for a gameplay, we have to do that sometimes. It's weird. It totally takes you out of the immersion.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Wanted to put that
For
out
sure.
John from Des Moines, excellent question. We love video game music. You love video game music, and we appreciate that you sent in that question. Thank you, sir.
Also, he says he listens to a lot of ODST, which is an excellent choice.
Oh, yeah. Here's what he had listed, actually. Thanks, Brandon. I still listen to Halo 3 ODST tracks for relaxation. Ryan also put down Halo 2, Ys Book 1 and 2, Lords of Thunder, Quarantine, and Doom.
Doom.
So
Doom
some
had
good
great
tracks there.
music too. I think Borbo would like the Doom remake. Also has great like
Yeah. The Megadeth track,
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, also like Tony Hawk. It's just like Tony Hawk 2 is just a great soundtrack full of like
was
gold,
like 90s songs.
gold from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, it's like songs. It's like tracks that you hear today, because it's licensed music, it's not original to the game, but like something like Crazy Taxi, like you cannot listen to the Offspring.
Oh, God.
You instantly think of Crazy Taxi.
Another neat thing is when you're playing Super Smash and you're playing on the different maps and you hear all the kind of different music from each game. I always thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Again, thank you, John. Excellent topic for this week's episode. That is actually all we have time for today.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you for allowing me to host this episode, and I hope it wasn't too terrible for you listeners and viewers. And yeah, I had a really, really fun time, and I hope you got a little bit of information and had a little bit of fun with us on the show today. Mark, what are you working on? What can people see?
Oh, not allowed to say, guys. I'm sorry.
Dice.
Yeah.
Dice clip outs.
Looking at Dice stuff. No, like, yeah, honestly, the stuff I'm working on right now is, there's a lot of games coming out on Friday.
Yeah, there sure are.
And so you'll see a lot of content coming around those games. But we're not allowed to talk about anything yet. So follow me on Twitter at Mark_Medina. That's where we'll leave it.
All right, Brandon.
Yeah.
What you doing, dude? How's it going?
Yo, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm real tired.
All right.
I'm reviewing a game I can't talk about right now. So when I can talk about it, I will. But right now, I got more reviewing to do.
Glad you don't crack under pressure, buddy.
Thanks, man. You can follow me on Twitter at Brandon Tyrell.
Good God.
That's it.
Steven, what are you working on?
Working on Apex Legends. Just made the ranking every Apex Legends video. A lot of strong comments on that. Check it out if you are an Apex Legends fan. You can follow me on Twitter at STEVRYU, Stevru.
Cool. Yeah. I'm doing the management thing still, believe it or not. They haven't let me go yet. But I'm also working on those Javelin profiles that I'm going to get done someday. I actually did all the selects yesterday for the Ranger. I'm going to get that done. Anthem's coming out at the end of the week.
Yeah.
If you want to follow my personal stuff, I still stream twitch.tv/The Destiny Channel every Tuesday and Thursday at 8. It's guaranteed, but I've been playing a ton of Apex and I suck at it. So if you want to see the nicest guy, believe it or not, in Apex Legends, that's my hook. I'm going into random games and I'm just being incredibly nice to everybody.
Yeah, dude. Positivity.
Yeah. I'm trying to spread
2019, the year of
like,
positivity.
Like, hello, everybody. I would appreciate it if I could take Bloodhound this round. He's one of my favorites. If not, I understand. Yes, it's really fun. And it's I've won like 5 games with randoms.
Cool.
One. It's really, really great. Anyway, how does Ryan do the outro? That's it for this week, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
It's pretty good.
Guardians out.
Oh.